Coaches, Rick Stewart of All Access Coaching. I'm really excited to bring you this free video, and make sure you hit the subscribe and like button down below. It gives us valuable data as far as what coaches want. And also, if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll start doing weekly YouTube clinics for free. And if you hit the like and subscribe button, you'll get notified when we upload new content. We're uploading 3 or 4 videos every week.
Again, our philosophy, we're going to continue to do the things we talked about in the other talk, which is deny the dive. We're still going to read blocking schemes, so we're going to talk about slot reads again, and we're going to get the ball pitched, and we want the ball out on the perimeter. And again, we're going to teach the option responsibilities in our base defense. We're going to practice it in the spring and the fall, review on Fridays, oil it up, all the things that we talked about in the first talk. Those things still apply whether we're thinking about defending them with 2 high or 1 high or both or whatever the case may be. And then we want it to mesh with our identity. And I think that's the really important part of this talk. When we were at New Mexico military, we were a 4-2-5 based team. Most of what we did was even front. So a lot of the things that you're going to see in this talk correlate with what we were doing in relationship to our base defense. So we weren't trying to then all of a sudden become this 2-high team that played, 3-4-2 high versus flexbone. We wanted it to match up and marry what we were doing. And we definitely had playbook elements in it as well, so that the players were learning this from install all the way through. And if you've ever coached in junior college, you know that retention was a big issue. And so we want to try and do as best we can, always making sure that those guys had a little bit of review every week to make sure that we were ready to do this when it came time. We got reduction split here. Okay, deepened up. We could probably even deepen up a little bit further if you're this corner. We don't need to be stacked right on this guy, and we certainly don't want to run into him when he starts to spin. There's our other spin player waiting for the action to happen in the backfield. Okay, there's the give. I'm going to cancel the dive with a defensive lineman. Okay, but the nice thing that happens here is they block out, so he has to fold in to fit the vice. And it's not as good as we would like it to be in terms of reacting, but he does at least get back involved in the play. He could be a bit more patient when he hinges at 45 because he's a little bit aggressive there. Now, really nice job by our safety. You see him downhill, 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 inside out, and now we're tackling that thing at the line of scrimmage from a 10-yard initial alignment. We'll take that all day, right? Now, certainly he's a good player, not that that's all coaching or anything like that. That's also have good players. That helps. It's a very significant factor. Again, we got a split number 2. So again, when we get action to that split number 2, our force player is going to force outside of it. Our post safety is going to downhill shuffle, eyes to that guy. We're treating that like an arc block. Okay. Now they happen to run this back on a little counter action. This is really nice on this side. If you look at his eye discipline, he hinges, he sees it coming right back. You know his eyes are in the right spot because when the action came back, he was immediately snapping back into that. He was not looking at that going, oh my goodness, what's happening here? I'm going to run to the post first and then run back downhill. He saw it the whole way and is ready to react to it, which is a good play on his part. Okay, more of the same. Double slot. There's our 10-yard alignment guy. Our corners are a little bit deeper here. Again, speed of receivers affects that a bit, and how aggressive we're willing to play those guys, and that type of thing. And this is a good example. You can see we're going to get the insert here. So now I get insert coming at me. I'm going to fold right in. We're going to vice that block. That's just midline. There it is. There's our vice, and we tackle it with 2 bodies. It's exactly where we want to be. You can tell it's junior college. We've got all the neon colors everywhere. God bless junior college. Now you can see the tilted open technique. Okay, he's a little tight. We'd love to see him a little bit deeper. This is a 4x4 alignment. Looks like he's about 4x2, which is obviously going to make his life a lot more difficult right here, where we're getting action away, and he's going to start spinning this thing. And so when he has to spin, he's got that much further to go when he cheats his alignment towards the line of scrimmage. That'll help him on play 2 for sure, but it's going to hurt him on play away. You can see our safety in the middle of the field at 10. It's a really nice example of the downhill shuffle. Okay, this happens to be a fumble, but the reason that I'm showing this play is because you can see the downhill shuffle in the eyes. And one of the things that happens on this particular play is they have flexed the slot out. So he's in that number 2 alignment. He's already motioned out here. So this is the guy that's going to motion. And when he comes over, we're still should be getting spin to this direction, right? We're going to get our force player outside the number 2. We're going to treat that split number 2 the same way we would an arc block. We think the most likely thing he's going to do is block our overhang. So for our safety, his read key here was the slot. Now he's a flex player. He's going to end up looking at that guy just the same as he did before. The only difference now is that guy's already running the arc, so I'm going to go run to his inside hip because I need to vice the arc block with my overhang help, and our scrape player will go over the top. So that's why this is on here, to show what happens, because I'm sure this is something some guys are going to see. They're trying to run a reverse. You'll notice he's at the line of scrimmage, but he's nice and patient. He's definitely seeing the reverse as a thing. This is part of why you don't just boogie out of there as fast as you can. When you hinge, you shuffle and hang so that you don't just run to the post, because if they run reverse here, we do need an edge to the defense. This is a fast dude. They give him the ball in this reverse, he's going to run out of the back of the gate, and he's off to the races if we don't have the overhang who does a good job hinging, shuffling, and being patient for what's happening. Right, so there's some good things to learn from there. Obviously, then it's about corralling the thing, and obviously, once you get a team this far off schedule in pretty good shape, not much they're going to do to recover on that particular drive. One of the things we do talk a lot about is, when you get back here, ball security, see if we can punch one of those out. That's definitely one of those situations where you're more in the country fumble sort of scenario, not a lot of people around. If the ball's still rolling around, let's see if we can go recover that doggone thing, scoop and score it. Okay. Here, they've got him a little bit deeper. This is something that they did. They break the flex a little bit and went a little bit deeper, obviously indicating that this is probably going to be motion to the field. But again, there's our backside player, front side player, 4x4 off the box. Corners are tilted open, looking at the action, but then going to get eyes on number 1. And there's our post safety, who's at 10, going to bend his knees. We would like to see him downhill shuffle when he gets action. So when he gets this action to the field, you'll notice how lateral he is. That's a big no-no. This guy should be shuffling down, ready to run downhill, because when the slot blocks, we need to give that guy involved. We got to pick up an extra body on this stuff, and we're not going to pick up that extra body without his help. So that guy's got to have a better mindset about being sure we're ready to shuffle downhill and make this play. Good job by our force player. Gets out leveraged a bit, but you'd like to see him be able to just collect that tackle, and he does for the most part. He's able to make this happen. And we're hitting the quarterback in the backfield. We're making our play. So we're in decent position there. This is Air Force prep. So you're going to see this is, we were a junior college team playing a prep school. You're going to see the typical flex bone. Now we will do some press bail stuff. And we did that to help deny some of their quick game. They did have a good throwing quarterback this particular season. So you'll see us creep out a little bit. And then in terms of just watching the action of the rotation guys, you're going to get action going into the boundary. So you should see this guy hinge open, shuffle. Now, we'd love to see good shuffles. Those are not very efficient shuffles. That's like really bad gym class shuffling, where he's clicking his heels together and hopping up and down. We'd like to see him sink his hips, step and replace, and get himself in a position where he could actually run. That's not great on his part, for sure. So we definitely would love to see a little bit better situation than that, if possible. Where's the rest of our? Okay, again, we're lined up. This time we got the 3-3 stack spacing like we talked about. We're able to slide into those 3-3 stack alignments. We're still going to play spin coverage. There's our 2 overhangs. You notice this one we've got reduction of split. We showed this in the PowerPoint. Now this guy's deepened up. So he's not going to play 5 to 7. He's going to play a little bit deeper to give space to this extra player. And out of the screen, here's our guy in the middle of the field up top. Okay, so we're going to get action, and they're going to the short side. We'd prefer if he wasn't quite this fast. You do see the hinge action happen, and he's going to start to shuffle again. He's a notoriously bad shuffler. And they toss it out. Okay, and we're getting the crack replace. So get back to this. So they're going to try and block our force player. Okay, he's going to use his hat and hands. We're going to replace over the top. There's our safety who is coming downhill. He's going to run and overlap this thing. And there's our replacement of that safety in the post, right, by the backside rotation.
Coaches, I really hope you got some great information from that YouTube video. Again, hit the subscribe and like button down below. It gives us valuable data. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do free YouTube clinics. And you also get notified when I'm doing those YouTube clinics and when I upload new content to this channel. Thanks for watching, coaches.